Hi there. Mercury is direct. Thank the Lord. Uranus just went retrograde, or Uranus. Ooh, my sixth grader and my inner sixth grader is like laughing right now. Um, Uranus went retrograde. Oh my gosh. But don't worry. I get the feeling that all of the surprises that it'll bring is going to be great. There are a bunch of other planets kind of tumbling backwards, but it's all going to be okay. Don't you worry. We have a lovely new moon in Virgo to remind us how to navigate all of this. As a Virgo myself, we are here to serve. But, anyways, I'm Soul Coach Michele, your co creative coach and friendly neighborhood superwoo. Let's pull some cards, see what this week's energy has in store for us, and I will coach you through any speed bumps that may show up in the energy so that you can continue to manifest your dreams no matter what the cosmic energy is doing. That's what I love to do. That's why I'm here. So why don't we just hop in and get right to it? Hey, okay. So let's see. Um, I am gonna do 3 cards for the like what's the energy, like what do we need to know about all this? And I'm gonna use 3 different decks. So I've also put, if you love any of these decks, the links, if you want to grab them for yourself or for a loved one, are down in the description. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a card from one of my favorite decks. Like, all of these are my favorites. Okay, all of them. So Raleigh Valentine, love him. Been following his booty around for quite some time, as with Colette Baron-Reid. But anyways, I love the Archangel Michael deck, as many of you probably also. Michael is your man, protection, but also life, life purpose and opportunities. Okay, so 1 card from this deck, 1 card from the spirit animal deck. Oop, there we go. From Colette Baron-Reid. I love this one. It's so tender, so gentle. And then 1 card of an affirmation from the My Meditation Minute deck by guess who? Oh my gosh, me. Okay, this is my deck I put out last year. Anyways, we're gonna pull one from here so you have a mantra for the week. Okay, so let's jump in now. So here's the deal. I kind of want to before we pull cards, I want to kind of just give you a synopsis of what's going on with this new moon in Virgo, and what are the things that it's going to kind of round up for you. So basically, over the next week or so, that's kind of the energy is going to be open. So reviewing all you've learned for the last 2 months, because it's been a lot, y'all. It has been a lot. Um, July and August were probably, this whole year has been so like much, but the last 2 months where everything has been coming up and boiling up, because I feel like everybody's been on their journey. So all of their stuff is coming up and you're like, what the crap? And it's just like, okay, I got to sort through this. I just got to do it. And that's what's been going on energetically for the last 2 months, especially during the last Mercury retrograde in Virgo in August that just wrapped up. We're still in the retro shade, I think, for another week or so, but pretty much we're coming out of that one. And it was, it was absolutely just crazy. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Some people felt it interesting. And when I say crazy, I don't want it to be like, oh my God, doomsayer. No, I mean crazy, like a lot being thrown at you, a lot changing and shifting. Whether, like, for us, like, we literally moved, as you can tell by all the boxes here. I still have not gotten the office back, nor have I found my microphone. So if you are wondering why the audio is kind of not as glorious as normal, that's why. But honestly, this is part of the shifting that has gone on. So, and that's a big deal. So the last 2 months have been big for everybody in various ways that are really bubbling up stuff for you to release. That's what retrogrades are for, and to bring stuff up and go over and sort through them. And now this is really about sorting through what you're going to keep and turn into wisdom, sorting through what you're going to turn into the compost pile, and then using that compost to create fertile soil for planting seeds, new moon in Virgo, for your winter garden because, we're coming up on Mabon, fall equinox, all of that business, which by the way is my birthday. So if you want to send gifts, please do. Um, and then also some other themes that I think are part of this new moon in Virgo are being of service without being in servitude to others. So really understanding what that difference is, where we can all show up and be of service, but that doesn't mean that we do it in the format of a doormat or for free or for any of that kind of stuff. Like, and it's also not maybe expecting stuff, but really being clear about your boundaries, about your service, about it's not about people absconding with the white spots in your calendar or absconding with your free time as if like your free time is now open to them. But more about you deciding how you want to show up and be of service in a way that feels really good for you, but without this obligation or this like feeling a little resentful about it. So being of service without servitude, and then also embodying all of this stuff and nurturing your body with which you embody the things. So like think about somatics and stuff like that. Like maybe look into those if that's calling to you. But also just nurturing the body. Like I think over the last 2 months, we've been really about like dealing with other people's stuff. And then how do we deal with that within ourselves? And how do we take back our own space and embodying that, which means nurturing yourself and really taking the time to take care of you. So, um, you know, since our thoughts a lot of times will manifest in our bodies, like there's The Body Remembers is like a book, I think. I forget the whole title of it, but the concept of our thoughts become things even within the body. So really being mindful to nurture how you're thinking, nurturing your focus, nurturing your thoughts, and taking care of your body in the forefront. So like if you've been thinking about going for a walk, just go take a walk. If you've been thinking about joining the gym, just go join the gym. If you've been thinking about eating better and more nourishing foods or drinking more nourishing things, go and do that. Like stop thinking about it and take the inspired action to do it. So really kind of embodying the nurturing of self. So those are kinds of the themes, the energetic themes that I'm seeing. So I do want to take with all that in mind, with all of that in mind, let's call upon spirit. What we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to go through I'm going to pull a card from each of the decks that I shared with you earlier. And we'll just see what it was. I wrote out a question that we're going to ask. So we're going to do two different things. So this is the first. I'm going to leave the last thing for a surprise because I think it's going to be fun. It's a new little section that I want to add to our little thing here. So let's see. What do we need to know? Here's the question. What do we need to know about this new moon in Virgo and all the current retrogrades that are going on that will support our forward motion? And where do we need to focus our energy? Because energy flows where focus goes. Where do we need to focus our energy to rev up manifesting our dreams? So I'm going to start with the first card, which is the answer card. This is how I do things. It's not past, present, future. I do answering the question and then supporting themes. Okay. So okay, this one here. No, this one. Got it. Thank you. Ooh, blessing in disguise. Love this. And then we'll do an animal, and I'll show you all these. Don't worry. And so the next one is more of a supportive card. So we're going to do animals. Animals. We love the animals. Let's see. Yeah, that's one. Yep. And then one for the mantra. Okay. Oops, no, this one. Yeah. You cannot make shit up, y'all. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So our first card is from the Archangel Michael sort of light deck. And that one is, this is a blessing in disguise. Isn't that beautiful? Be patient and have faith that your angels have this situation under control. And what will come is far better than you, I'm trying to read backwards, than you dared to dream. So this is really interesting. And I love this card. And here's why. Because this card is telling you to, like, when we say things like we have that affirmation, I receive money in expected and unexpected ways. And then usually what happens is your brain tries to figure out the unexpected ways, but then they become expected. So it doesn't work out that way. So this card is reminding you, stop trying to be in control of the things. Yes, tell the universe what you want. Maybe it's like, and tell the universe what you want, and maybe put it in the form of like an open-ended question. I love this. I heard this from a coach of mine that I love, Bambi Thompson. I love her. And she shared with me this really, and I use it every single day, y'all, every day. So every day I sit in my meditation chair, and one of the last things I do is I ask the universe questions, and it's an unanswered question. So, and this is kind of really where this is going. And it's, what would I take for me to, or what would it take for me to XYZ, insert your intention. So in this case, maybe it's, what would it take for me to really embody a self-nourishing, self-loving regimen or activities, or just what would it take for me to find vitality within myself? There we go. And then also maybe, since I'm looking at like the stuff that we're seeing this month, the themes for this new moon about like creating fertile soil, planting the seeds of your winter garden. Like, what would it take for me to let go of the stuff that, because we always think we have, when we let go of stuff, it's stuff we don't like, so it's easy to let go of. Sometimes it's stuff that we're in a comfort zone with that we need to let go of. What do I need to let go of? And what would it take for me to let go of the stuff that is no longer serving me, and to compost that into fertile soil so that I can plant my seeds for my winter garden? Like, what do I want this winter? As the moon, or as the feminine energy comes more into our being, as winter comes upon us, and it's much more introverted, and we're hygge-ing in our coziness, and we're thinking about what we need to do inside or within our homes and within ourselves, and which is the home of our soul. What do we want for that? What do we want? And the other thing is, all of these retrogrades happening right now, that are going through that rest of the year. So we have Uranus and Saturn and Neptune and a bunch floating around. And the thing is that some of that stuff we might be witnessing, we might feel it deeply, or we might be witnessing others that we love going through things that can be really, really challenging, almost as challenging as navigating the situation yourself. But really remember, they're blessings in disguise. And that if you keep trying to control the outcomes of all these situations, the fact is that you're blocking the far better thing that spirit can bring to you. Okay, that's the main overarching message of today, of this week of energy. Okay, and then we have Antelope Spirit, which is the animal deck. This is from the Colette Baron-Reid deck, which again linked below. And they come in upside down. Upside down. So Antelope Spirit is life is speeding up. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean life is slowing down because it's upside down. What I generally see in upside down cards is whether it might be, I forgot that, or I forgot that I knew that, I didn't know that, or I know that and I'm being a whiny baby. I think this is more of a, I forgot that I knew that. I really feel that. That it's more of I forgot that I knew that all of a sudden we realize, because this is something that I mentioned in my Celestial Soul Circle group, soon to be known as the Co-Creative Soul. I'll talk about that in another video. But what I shared with them as another element to this energy is, when you come out of a Mercury retrograde, you're like, okay, I am busting out the gates. Let's go. And you're like waving your sword and charging down the hill. And you turn around after this big Robin Hood speech and you realize nobody's back there. Why? Because everybody's having their own charge down the hill moment, and everybody's realizing they're all by themselves and they're not quite ready to charge downhill. They might be amped up because they've been chomping at the bit for the last 3-4 weeks, kind of like sorting through their stuff during this Mercury retrograde. And then you come out the gate and you're like, I am ready. And it's like, not quite yet. We need to kind of think about things. So we're still kind of got to rein that in and understand that there are still some other retrogrades happening that will affect everybody, in various ways. And retrogrades are in each of their respective planets and signs slow us down to give us the moments that we need. We may not think we need them, especially in the world we live in. Everything works at such a fast pace, but this is much more aligned with our normal rhythms inside our bodies that we inhabit as souls having a human experience. And part of that human experience is this little bit of slowdown for us to kind of really have these moments where we're looking at the situations. And because if we move too fast, we miss the blessing, we miss the lesson, we miss all the stuff, and then we got to redo it again. So you might as well just slow down now, seriously. So it's all about reminding you that it's not so much out the gate right now. We're much more slowing things down, moving in a space that is much more paced for our linear timeline that we all chose to participate in. And that it's okay. So give yourself a little bit of grace, give yourself permission to work at a speed that is more okay for you than what other people are expecting. Especially since we are in that space of like, yes, we're in a new moon, but I need to know where the starting line is so I can start. You don't plan a trip without knowing what airport you're going to leave from. I mean, that's kind of a basic, right? Because how do you get anywhere if you don't know where you're starting from? So this is a time frame to take a minute and get yourself situated, kind of sort through all the stuff that you just went through, get organized. That's what Virgos, we are known for our organization, everything, like even back here, there is organization in this chaos, I promise. And we are known for making sure that everything is sorted. And that's what this time is going to support you to do, to sort the things that came through. So give yourself permission to take that time, okay? And then lastly, here's your mantra for the week. And it's more of a meditation. So take a moment and kind of center yourself. That was because we're feeling a lot of sparkly energy, all right? And center yourself and just take a good inhale. It is safe for me. And exhale to take a minute for myself to cultivate my peace. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. It is safe for me. Exhale. To take a minute for myself to cultivate my peace. That's your meditation minute, your mantra, an affirmation, whatever works for you. And those are your answers for this week. I love this. So if you're loving this, if this resonated with you, like what part was your favorite? Did anything resonate with you? Tell me in the comments below. Come and let me know how you're feeling about things. Also, I have a surprise for you. But before that, I would love for you to, if you comment below, also give the video a thumbs up if you're loving this, because I'm jumping back into YouTube again now, and it tells the algorithm to put this in front of people. So if you give it a thumbs up, I would so appreciate that, so that more people will see things. And I do want to kind of jump into a new segment. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna let go of this past reading because we just put it back. So I'm gonna put these back. So just, you can rewind it and watch the previous. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a little personal reading. Now, the way we're gonna do this, and you've probably seen it before, the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna use our, let's see. I think I'm gonna use the animal deck, really. No, I'm gonna use the Michael deck. See, I'm being one way and Spirit's like, no. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull some cards for you. But what we're going to do is I'm going to number the cards, like card 1, card 2, card 3. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a moment. Now that we've kind of had our meditation, center ourselves, breathe in, breathe out, get a little center, just feel everything kind of chill in your body. Kind of draining down your feet into the ground. Okay. Now, I want you to decide on a question you might have, and you can type it in the comments. You can say it to yourself if it's personal. You might, even if you're like, oh gosh, that's too overwhelming to have one question, you can say, Spirit, whatever you want to tell me. Okay. And then what I want you to do now, let me give you a minute. Get your question. You got your question? I'm sorry if you hear tapping, it's the construction outside. Okay. You have your question. Now, I want you to pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Go ahead and pick one number. And then as you're doing that, I'm going to shuffle my cards. And I'm going to do a reading for 1, 2, and 3. So whatever your number is, remember it. Maybe write it down. Well, we have a jumper. Yay. That'll be an overarching message for everyone. So you actually get 2 cards. Yeah, okay. This one, number 1. And 2. Ooh. And 3. Okay, so first of all, we have the jumper card, which is jumping like crazy. I can't even hold on to it. So pray from the heart. Now, I love this one. This is overarching for everybody because it jumped out as I was pulling out the other cards. Okay, so prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concern and watch miracles unfold. Now, what I'm getting from this card is notice how we have this older lady saying her prayers and she's praying with her hands on her heart. This is funny because this is how I pray. Like when I sit in the morning and I do, like, prayer is asking, meditation is listening, for clarity of how I talk about stuff. So I always sit with my hands over heart instead of like this when I'm praying because I just feel like it brings more love in. But this to me, I think is something people have forgotten because summer has been so like and like amped up. So I'm going to encourage you to remember to pray from the heart, not from here, which is, oh, I need this, I need that. Here, pray from a place of love. And it can move mountains. It says, reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. So your heart's concerns are much more about like what you want versus what you don't want. Because whenever I ask clients, hey, what do you want? They'll talk to me about what they don't want. So that's your brain, usually what you don't want. And your heart is what you do want. So give yourself permission to have conversation with the divine, with your angels, with source energy, with your higher self from a heart-centered perspective. That is the overarching message for this portion of the reading. Okay. Now, card number 1. If you are a number 1, if you're a card that's number 1, ooh. I am loving this, by the way. Card number 1 is joy, joy to the world. Okay, the way forward is open. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. So this is a reminder if you're feeling trapped for whatever reason, if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't have any choices. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. That is a mental like thing. Like, yes, your situation may be presenting as such. I'm not going to say that that's not a thing. But what I am saying is this: you have a choice to know with absolute certainty that there's a reason you're there and that spirit is going to get you out of it in a way for your highest good. Like one of my favorite Louise Hay things is all is well. The universe is always conspiring in my favor, and everyone, including myself, will prosper out of the situation. That is something to sit with. Now, here's another thing. Ever since I read, and I go on about this book all the time. I love my favorite book for the last 2 years. I mean, and I've still read. It's not like I only read the one book, but is called The Choice by Dr. Edith Eger. I promise you, if you read that book, this card is resonating with you, read the book. Read it. It's on Audible. You can read it like book form, tablet form, audiobook, and on Spotify or wherever you listen to your audiobooks. But anyways, this card, number 1, all about joy. Find the joy in the situation, even if it's small, even if it's only within you. Find that joy. Okay, that's number 1. You're not trapped. Number 1. Number 2, twos out there. Hello, twos. I love this. I love this card because it's embrace the magical moment. And it says, you are the perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles. Allow your wishes to be fulfilled. So this is really interesting. So notice the gold piece sailing by, and like, that's a coin in or earth in the tarot. So it's all about like actually seeing your stuff come to fruition. And I love how there's like almost like a sword in the fountain, like a sword in the stone there, because swords are thought, you know, that is the whole thing. And we have water. It's like all of the elements are here and they're shining down. It's putting it all together. So really understanding that all of those big dreams you have, number twos, all of them are yours for the taking. You got to get your thoughts straight and really start receiving, because it's almost like, if you know my seven elements, which I'm going to probably redo these because I've not gone through the seven elements that I put together years and years ago for manifesting practices. But the seven elements are getting centered, gratitude, ask, let it go, alignment, awareness in the contrast, and receiving. So you got seven elements. I know did not count that right on my fingers. Seven elements. And the last one is receiving. So you can do the other six amazingly well. And if you turn yourself off from receiving number twos, it won't come. So this is saying, literally, the last line says, allow your wishes to be fulfilled. What that means is you have to stand back and say, yes, I'm letting this all flow in. And secondly, I'm not going to resist anything. I'm not going to have thoughts about how it's not going to work out or anything. I'm just going to say yes, and I'm going to let go of the absence of it. And I'm going to, when it shows up, I'm going to run up and hug the heck out of it. I'm going to love it, and I'm going to squeeze it, and I will call it George, and it'll be mine. And that's what that is for. So for you, number twos, it's all about learning and really being open to receiving, because if you are, your stuff is going to come through in amazing ways. Okay, those of you who picked number 3 for your question, trust your angels. Today is all about kind of letting go, isn't it? Let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. Now, this is really interesting to me. And I think it's funny, as a recovering control freak, because like I've shared with everybody, I'm a Virgo. So Virgos in general have challenge with control freakiness. But letting things go doesn't mean you're letting go of your dream. You're letting go of that thing that you want. Because I've gotten this question in the past, like, well, if I want something, but then I let it go, how do I know if it'll come to me? Letting something go isn't about letting go of the intention or the want for the thing. What you're letting go of is the feeling that you're embracing of the absence of the thing that you want, whether it's inner peace, a new car, a new job, a new lover, more money, a new home, whatever it is that you're wanting. It's all the same energy. It's how we attach to it that creates, like, whether we think it's a big thing or a little thing. It's all the same. Like let's be honest. So like a parking spot has the same like energy as like $1 million. But because of our programming, the weight we give to one or the other makes it easier or harder to manifest. And but that scale, again, is really something we've made up. So what we really need to get with isn't so much whether something is hard or easy to manifest. It's how well we choose to release the idea of the absence we're holding on to of that thing from our life. You have to be like, I would love $1 million. Like, I'm going to go and listen to the Bare Naked Ladies song, If I Had $1 Million, because that makes it super fun. If you have not heard that song, it's from the 1990s. Love, my favorite band, Bare Naked Ladies. Go look it up. And it's awesome. It's a fun little song about having $1 million and what they would do with it if they had their $1 million. And they never talk about stuff that, like, not having it. It's all about, what would I do with my $1 million? Not, well, if I had $1 million, all my crazy ass relatives would show up and ask for money. That is not, no. Or, oh my gosh, I wish I had $1 million, but I don't have $1 million now. And here's all the things that I can't do with my $1 million. That's focusing on the absence. So this is all about switching that. Let go of the absence of the thing and it'll come. in ways that are bigger than you ever thought of. Because, like, if you harness the universe with how you're like, I only wanted to show up on Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and other than that, I won't be home. But and it has to be like this. And by the way, it better show up like that. And can you get here all right? Like, that's focusing on the absence and trying to control everything. So if you want to let go of your stuff and trust your angels and trust the universe to bring you the things that you want, you got to let go of the absence of the thing in your life, that vibration, so that it can flow in more freely. Like, go do something else. Go listen to that Bare Naked Lady song I told you about. Go do something else and let things flow in. Allow. I mean, it's the same thing for the number twos and kind of the number ones. Letting go of the ideas of not having things, of the idea of being trapped, number ones, letting go of the the idea of the absence or anything in number twos and threes, like embracing that magical moment for you, number twos, and really trusting your angels, number threes. That's really what's going on here. Just like really understand the way forward is open, number one. Embrace your magical moment, number two, and trust your angels for you, number threes. So that is for all y'all. And I think I'm going to start including this particular extra little reading at the end of the weeklies. So I hope you enjoyed that. If so, again, give it a thumbs up. If you love this reading and you want one for your own, now I don't just use these 3 decks. There are probably 50 or more decks in these boxes back here once I get them unpacked. If you want a more personalized reading where you're one-on-one with me, you can grab the link that is in the description and book yourself a session with me in September. I think I have about 6 openings, so go ahead and book them now because I think I'm 2 weeks out or something like that. But would love to see you on my calendar. But other than that, that's it. Next week, I'll be doing another one of these videos. I am revamping some of my older videos so that you can come back and see them. And also, if you want to know more about me, go ahead and check out my What is a Soul Coach Anyway video. That's right here. And it's either going to be here or here when I finally put that in the video. But anyways, it's the number 1 video on my channel. The sound isn't great, but for right now, that's what I got. And I would love for you to go see it if that's a curiosity for you. But until next time, I'll see you in the vortex. Love you so much. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.